Hi, this is Matt from Coursensu, and we're going to have a quick overview of how you can check any Moodle quiz for the content structure, the types of answers you provided, maybe whether there's gaps in the feedback or the quality of the feedback you're providing within a quiz inside your Moodle course. So, how can we do this? Well, you might enlist a bunch of willing participants and try the quiz out and get them to report back to you whether they liked it or how effective it was or where they got stuck. That is really powerful, but it can also take some time because you've got to recruit people, bring them in, gather all their feedback. What if there was a quicker way that could just give you an overview of areas that might still need to be addressed within any Moodle quiz? Well, that's what we're going to be showing today, where in this example, we have a critical thinking course. And in module 3, there's a quick knowledge check. And what I can use is the question review tool that's part of the Coursensu course companion. And if I click on that, what happens now is it's effectively simulating a learner previewing and taking that quiz. It's not graded or anything like that. It won't be stored. It's like me clicking preview and going through all of the questions. Now that I've started the preview, the tool has all of the questions and the answers in order to provide you with some guidance. So one of the things I could do is let's look at the question feedback for this quiz, because I've done this before and I can see that there might be some issues with the feedback in this quiz. So I'll choose the question feedback option. What happens now is I'm getting a sort of report effectively of the quality of the feedback and areas that I can improve it. So it's gone through to question 1 and it's saying the feedback is missing. It says you need to provide feedback that explains the importance of evaluating information, which is related to the question. Same for question 2. The feedback is missing. The feedback is missing. What you're seeing here is actually there is no feedback for any of the questions in this quiz. And if you selected A, B, C, or D for the MCQ answers, you'd always just see correct. Choice B was correct. And that's all it says because that's sort of the built-in default behavior. But that's not helpful for a learner if they're correct or if they're incorrect or even partially correct, because feedback is meant to be an opportunity to help them understand why the option they chose was either correct and leading towards them understanding and showing that understanding, or perhaps there's still areas for the learner to be reviewing, reflecting, and going back over some of the other course material. So feedback is really important, but capturing that you might have forgotten to include feedback can be just as difficult as well. And so in here, what we have is we have a report on each question and it says the feedback is missing. That at least can stimulate you to either get some further guidance on what type of feedback to add or go into the quiz question, the actual questions themselves, and start to think about adding more meaningful feedback and making sure that that's a truly valuable learning experience for every learner that in the future will be taking that quiz and probably feeling the same way, that if they got the wrong answer, why was it the wrong answer? They chose it, so the feedback can help them understand, improve, and then have another attempt. That's all. It does lots of other things, but at this stage, it's just a quick run through of how you can use it to help improve the quiz structure, and in this example, the feedback that's being provided or available to your learners. Thanks for having a look. If you've got any thoughts or questions, please put them in the comments below or reach out to us. You can find us on coursensu.com or you can email hello@coursensu.com. Thanks. Bye.